guys, it's Summer, and these are my top priority books for 2020. All of these books are basically just ones that have been on my TBR for the longest, and I just really want to finally get to them this year. I've got a few classics. I've got a few that have literally been on my radar since I very first started watching BookTube and stuff, probably like 3 or 4 years ago. So I've definitely been putting these books off for way too long. I'm really not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to pick them up and show them to you. This is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I've just heard really great things about this book, but I feel like it's very polarizing. I feel like some people absolutely love it, and then some people read it and think that it's too hyped. So I'm just excited to see where I fall with this book. I also don't think I'm going to be like talking too much about what the books are about. I think these are pretty well-known books, and I'm just like super behind on actually reading them. So I think all of you guys are already going to know what these are about. My second book that I want to read is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I have this really cool special edition. When I think of books that everybody loves and rates 5 stars, this is one of them. I think it's going to be a 5-star read for me as well. And I think that's why I've been putting it off, is because, first of all, it's huge, but second of all, because I think it's going to be really good, and I'm kind of afraid of the hype that I've built for myself. Back in 2018, I kind of discovered that I like weird books, and last year, I don't think that I intentionally read any weird books, so I'd like to do some of that kind of reading this year. I got this book called What the Hell Did I Just Read by David Wong. The cover looks super weird, and I can tell you, I've read the synopsis of this so many times, and I have no idea what it's about still, so I think it'll be a fun read. I'm either gonna love this book or hate it, so I think this will be a fun one. This one is The Lost City of the Monkey God by Douglas Preston. I've talked about this on my channel before quite a few years ago. I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but I would like to read at least this one this year. I love anything that has to do with ancient civilizations, and this one also has like some creepy vibes to it. It's about the author Douglas Preston taking an expedition of people into the Honduran rainforest to find this hidden, forbidden city. I think it has a curse on it, and I'm just here for it. I love it. I want to read this. This is another one that's been on my radar for like 4 years, and it's The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is a very well-loved book. I'm pretty sure I've not heard a bad thing about it. It's always rated 5 stars when I talk to people about it or watch reviews. I'm pretty sure this is historical fiction with like some magical elements to it, which I'm super excited to read. I've wanted to read more historical fiction, and I like that there's like a little magical twist to it. I don't actually know, but I think this will be a fun one to read. Another intimidating one though too, because it is rated so highly. I have a few classics on this list, and this is the first one. It's Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I have not read this book or seen any of the adaptations, and I really want to watch the new adaptation, but I feel like I want to read the book first, so I think this is going to have kind of like more of a #1 priority, just because I want to watch the movie now and not wait till later, because then I'll never end up watching it. I also want to watch Lala's vlog that she made for this, but it has spoilers in it, and I don't want to be spoiled because I still haven't been spoiled for anything in this book, except for one thing, maybe, but I want to watch her vlog. So I need to read this soon. I absolutely love this edition that I have. I think it's called the Penguin Threads edition. The front has like embroidery stuff on it, and then the back looks like an embroidery hoop. I just think like this design is just like so clever, and this is my favorite edition, like my favorite type of book, where it's paperback but it has like the dust jacket flap, and then it has deckled edges. This is my favorite type of book, like aesthetically. I really want to read Lord of the Flies this year because I never read it in junior high or high school. I've read a lot of books that are like based off of this, so I feel like I would like to read the source material. It's a little bit of a shorter book, and I really like short books, so I'll be able to get through this one pretty quick. I also love this edition. Again, this is like my favorite type of edition, deckled edges, paperback with a dust jacket flap, but I also just love like the cover and stuff. With classics, I always wait to find like the exact edition that I want to buy because there's so many of them. And so when I saw this one in Barnes & Noble, I was like, that's the one that I want. I think this one is more of like a modern classic, but it's Dune by Frank Herbert. I actually have 2 editions of this book because there are so many beautiful editions. And I also just think I'm gonna love this book, so I don't mind having a couple different editions. I love sci-fi, and this is kind of like one of the original sci-fi stories that I think kind of influenced the genre. I'm pretty sure I haven't like researched it or anything, so don't hold me to that, but I think this is one of the first ones. I don't know anything about it, honestly, and that's how I want to keep it until I go into it. They're making a new adaptation of it this year, and it has, is it Timothy Chalamet? I don't know how to say his name. He's the guy from Call Me By Your Name. I love him, and he's going to be in this movie adaptation that's coming out, I think, this year, and I'm very excited about it. I was already really excited to read this, and now knowing that there's a movie adaptation, I'm even more excited, so I'm hoping to get to this one pretty soon. I keep saying that for every one of these books. I'll get to them hopefully sometime this year, but this one I for sure have to read before the movie comes out. This next one is probably the most intimidating one out of all of these books, and it is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. It's the very first book in his Mistborn trilogy. I have heard literally nothing but good things about this. Everybody rates it 5 stars. I'm pretty positive that I'm also going to rate this 5 stars, and that makes me so scared. Also because of the size, this is huge. It's like about 650 pages. And I know once I read this, I'm going to like need to just devour the rest of the series, which like is a good thing, but it's just like a big commitment to get into. But I've been wanting to read this since I found BookTube. This is one of the most highly recommended like high fantasy series, and I've just heard such great things about Brandon Sanderson's writing. I just know that I'm gonna love this, and I've put it off for way too long, so 2020 needs to be the year that I finally read Brandon Sanderson. This last one, like when I think of books that have been on my shelves for the longest, this is the number one book that I think of, and that is The Martian by Andy Weir. The year that I joined BookTube was the year that this book came out, I'm pretty sure, or at least the movie was coming out and a lot of people were reading it and reviewing it. It was on a lot of people's like favorite books of that year video that I was watching a lot of just to get book recommendations and kind of know where to start. Like I said, I love sci-fi, and I feel like I'm going to love this. I feel like it'll be like at least a 4 or a 5 star read. I've not been spoiled for anything. I have not watched the movie, and I really, really want to watch the movie. I think I'm going to love the movie too. So I want to read this and watch the movie really soon. I love space books. I love isolation books. I feel like this is going to be great. I obviously have way more books than that I would like to get to this year, but those are just like my oldest ones that I really would like to read soon this year. Let me know down below what is your oldest book on your TBR that you still haven't read. Thank you guys so much for watching though, and I will see you guys in my next video.